What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I have to do this updated public service announcement to the Pactards. Listen up close. I'll try to be as nice as possible. Now, this video is not for Manny Pacquiao fans. If you're a fan of Manny Pacquiao, that's more power to you. He's an awesome fighter. He's a good dude. He's done a lot for the sport of boxing. But if you're a Pactard, listen up. Turn your volume up, adjust the volume, or whatever you have to do. Some of you guys are literally fucking idiots. And you should find the nearest bridge and jump off of it. I don't know what it is about Pactards, and I don't like the name calling, but I have to classify them as something so you guys realize that I'm talking about Pactards as opposed to Manny Pacquiao fans. Like I said, if you like the dude, great. A lot of people get on my channel, they say I'm anti-Pacquiao. I hate Pacquiao. No, motherfucker. I hate you. You viewers who are keyboard warriors, you get on the internet. It's like, I don't know what it is about diehard Pactards, but they all have computers or tablets or phones because they leave the most comments, even when it has nothing to do. The video could be about fucking Deontay Wilder deciding to walk out with Bobby Brown, and somehow, some fucking way, you Pactards will find a way to revert and bring it back to Mayweather or Pacquiao or both of them. And it just makes no sense. Like, boxing is more than just these two motherfuckers. Like, that's cool. They're great fighters, but there's other things in boxing and in life in general than two fucking fighters. And it seems like you guys, I mean, when I was a kid, my mom told me I had a one-track mind. But if I have a one-track mind, I don't know what the fuck y'all have, because some of you guys, again, you just always talk about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. I guess it's just the only thing you know, so you have to go with what you know best, and you know what I mean, just keep recycling this. And it's just getting obnoxious. It's just getting crazy. And as far as the Pactards, I can immediately tell from talking to someone who is a Pactard. So, yes, I'm talking to you, the one hovering over the dislike button. And just for the record, I don't give a fuck. This can have a million dislikes. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to speak my mind. And until the day where your dislikes influences my bank account or takes money out of it, then I don't give a fuck. I'm on my Tupac shit. I don't care about a dislike. You know what I mean? That's the closest you could do to prove me wrong. If what I'm saying is wrong, just prove me wrong. You know what I mean? A dislike doesn't do shit. I look at it, okay, dislike. Like I said, until it changes my bank account, I don't care. But as far as the Pactards, you just use no form of logic. Like I said, there's a difference between a Manny Pacquiao fan and a Pactard. A Pactard is going to have no logic. There is no other rationale other than Pacquiao. Now, I've been doing some videos. There's a lot of news regarding Pacquiao and Mayweather and that fight resurfacing. I don't know if it'll happen. I don't think it will happen. It hasn't happened thus far, so who knows. But the thing about it is, Manny Pacquiao is already tied up with Timothy Bradley. So he has to completely pass that test, and he has to do it in a spectacular fashion. So while you're sitting up here worried about Floyd Mayweather, that should be the least of your worries. Your idol, Manny Pacquiao, has a tough fight ahead of him. Not tough in the sense of I see him getting knocked out or anything, but tough because there's a lot on the line. Freddie Roach is opening his mouth and talking about what's going to happen, and they're going to knock Bradley out, just like they said the first time. Clearly didn't happen, and it's going to be all eyes on Pacquiao. So we'll see if he has that finishing style still, if he has that killer instinct. And again, some of you guys keep talking about Mayweather when Pacquiao hasn't even convincingly beat Bradley. There's a lot of people that think Bradley won. The judges obviously thought Bradley won. And me personally, I think Pacquiao beat Bradley in the fight. However, there's a big however. The however is personally, I think Pacquiao won, but Bradley did a lot better and caused Pacquiao to miss. And I didn't like how Pacquiao was fighting for sections of the round. Like, he wasn't fighting full 3-minute rounds, and he looked like probably the worst shape that I recall seeing him in a high profile fight in recent moments. Not saying he's in horrible shape or Uncle Buck or no shit like that, but for Pacquiao standards, that's what I'm referring to. He wasn't in good shape. It didn't look like he was in good shape. He looked softer than I'm used to seeing him. And again, you can argue and have an intelligent, educated response to why you feel Mayweather will beat Pacquiao or why Pacquiao will beat Mayweather. I'm game. That's all good. But for the people who have no logic, and some of you guys want to dwell on the fact of Pacquiao years ago, like it is really 2014, like a lot can change. Like, you know what I mean? I fucked bitches and when Pacquiao had his last knockout in 2009 that I've never even seen. I haven't talked to them, nothing. And a lot can change. Like, I know people, a lot's changed for me since 2009 to now. I know people that got married. I know people that went to jail. I know people that got killed, died. I mean, that's a long time ago if you think about it, especially in boxing. So what you did in 2009, it's like some of you guys are Al Bundy in Married with Children. I don't know if some of you guys are too young, don't remember Married with Children, the TV show with Al Bundy, Ed O'Neill. And in it, he hates life. He's married. He has 2 kids, Kelly and Bud Bundy. And he has a wife that he can't stand. So that's the premise of the TV show. And in the TV show, Al Bundy will have flashbacks of his old high school football playing days where he scored like 4 touchdowns in a single game and he was the man. Fast forward to the future, he's in a relationship, in a marriage that he hates. He hates his kids, and the only thing he likes doing is looking at Hooters and big titties, and he works as a shoe salesman, and he's not content with life. So the only thing he has is to revert back to those polk high days of when he was the man. Currently, you're balding, you're selling shoes, and you hate your life, you hate your wife, and that's what it is. And I think that's what a lot of you Pactards do. You want to sit up here and dwell and like name drop on what Pacquiao did circa 2009, 2008. That's great. Yes, he knocked out Hatton in 2009. He knocked out Cotto in 2009, or stopped Cotto by TKO. But guess what? He hasn't looked the same. He hasn't looked like the same ferocious Pacquiao. He looked great in the Cotto fight, the Hatton fight, the Mosley fight. He looked decent, but I don't really blame him because it didn't look like Mosley, after he got dropped, wanted to make the fight. It looked like Mosley was running and kind of like Juan Carlos Burgos against Mikey Garcia. He was just content surviving. So, I mean, there's only so much you could do to make the fight, i.e. Rigo versus Egbeko. You know what I mean? If a guy doesn't want to fight, or if he's fighting scared, then, I mean, there's only so much you can do. So I don't even really hold that against Pacquiao. But even beyond that, he struggled with Marquez in the 3rd fight. Roy Jones Jr., Abner Mares, Al Bernstein. There's a ton of people online. They have videos, and they've publicly stated that they felt Marquez should have won the 3rd fight. Myself included, I think Marquez should have won the 3rd fight. Now, one thing you have to look at is, unlike their first 2 encounters, Marquez didn't get knocked down. So really, all you have to do is score the rounds. No one had a 10-8 round. Nobody got knocked down in the 3rd fight. So that just alleviates that obstacle of making it tough to score. Like, okay, the first one, he got dropped and knocked down 3 times in the first round. So I can understand why the judges' scores are all over the place, and there were some close rounds. Same thing with the second. Marquez got knocked down, then there were some close rounds. But in the 3rd fight, to me, that was pretty clear. And Pacquiao had a very slow start. He was being very economical. And you guys have to rewatch the fight. But there was no knockdowns in that, so the scoring shouldn't have been all that complex. And they didn't give it to Marquez. So after that, he fought Timothy Bradley. Bradley made his 2nd appearance at welterweight, and neither one of them looked great. That's not the best performance. Like I said in the previous video, you don't see many Pacquiao highlight videos with the Bradley fight. You know what I mean? Because he just didn't look stellar like he did against Cotto or whoever else hadn't. Then he fought Marquez and got knocked out. So he hasn't knocked anyone out or TKO'd anyone, and he's known as a finisher since 2009. Yet a lot of the Pactards, you you want to just keep reliving what he was doing back then, and you use that as your reasoning for him beating Mayweather. Now you got to look at like history and patterns. What does he look like recently? And some people still think he'll beat Mayweather, which is beyond me, but that's fine. Like, if you think he'll beat Mayweather, I think he has a style that could trouble Mayweather for rounds, but I just don't see him beating him. If anything, 2008, 2009, when they should have fought, that's when he had a better chance of beating him, because that's when his confidence should have been at an all-time high. He was running through bigger people, Margarito and Cotto's, and you know what I mean? He was walking through them. That's why a lot of people feel he was on steroids, because he was walking down bigger guys than him. And then as soon as the spotlight was on him and Mayweather was calling him out for the drug testing, he seemed to take a turn for the worse, get knocked out, couldn't finish Marquez. He got knocked down by Marquez in the fourth fight, then knocked out. And that's why a lot of people think, but I'm not here to talk about if he was on steroids or if he is. For whatever reason, be it steroids, be it he just got into religion, be it his heart's not in boxing, whatever the fuck it is, he has not looked the same. And again, there's a lot of guys that were on top or relevant in 2009, yet they no longer fight, they retired, or they look bloody awful. And that's the difference between a reasonable Pacquiao fan and a Pactard. There's tons of fighters that I admire, that I like, that fell the fuck off. It just is what it is. Like, Roy Jones Jr. was literally one of my favorite fighters growing up. Like, I mean, I was a diehard Roy Jones Jr. fan. But I'm not so much a Roy Jones Jr. fan, or any fan, to the point where I'm not going to be realistic and I'm going to lie to myself and say Roy Jones Jr. still has it, because he doesn't. He's a great commentator, great coach. He helped Jean Pascal. I just don't think he should be fighting anymore. And that's the difference. You guys call me anti-Pacquiao and I have a grudge against Pacquiao. No, I have a grudge against you idiot fans. And like I said, this is not just solely if you think Pacquiao will still beat Mayweather, because you're entitled to your opinion. It's just the people who defy logic, defy reasoning. They say dumb shit, and that's their argument. And those are the people that this video is targeted to. Let me know what you guys think. What is a Pactard? I'm sick of it. And like I said, as far as Mayweather, from my personal opinion, I think if Pacquiao were to fight him in 2008, 2009, he had a better chance. But now, he just hasn't looked spectacular. And he has to get past Bradley convincingly in this fight. So we'll see how he looks in that. And maybe that could possibly, if he looked just spectacular and gives an undefeated slick fighter like Bradley, who looks like he's on the way up, he gives him hell and, you know what I mean, like stops him or something, then we could talk about, okay, he can beat Mayweather. But until he shows me something that is reminiscent of what he looked like in 2008 and 2009, then I can't give it to him. You know what I mean? I can't be like, oh yeah, he's the same fighter. I just can't. Like, I have to see that. You have to show me. Same thing with Amir Khan. Amir Khan has to show me something. He has to show that he's world class at this current moment. Yes, you beat Maidana. Yes, you beat Paulie Malignaggi. But boxing is a sport of what have you done for me lately? And it just what it is. Now, same thing will be said if Mayweather wasn't giving us performances like he has been, if he wasn't undefeated, if he wasn't giving us dominant performances against younger, bigger guys, then I would say the same thing about him. But the fact of the matter is, he still looked good. Even the Cotto fight, that a lot of people act like Cotto was just giving it to Mayweather. Yes, he bloodied his nose. He had a good showing. But he thoroughly, handedly lost. He lost without question. Like, there was no confusion on the judges' scorecards. Like, the Danny Garcia, Mauricio Herrera, at the end of it, I'm like, wait a minute. Just from the eye test, I think Herrera won that. You know what I mean? When I watched the Mayweather-Cotto fight, there was no second guessing, like, the judges might give it to Cotto. I knew he lost that fight. Unless it was some, like, bullshit or some controversial decision or whatever. There was no questioning, did he beat Guerrero? There's no questioning if he beat Canelo. So we'll see what he looks like against Maidana, and we'll see what Pacquiao looks like against Bradley. But that if Pacquiao looks great against him, then I'll probably make another video depending on what I see in that fight. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.